So this video will give us a introduction to Excel for those of you who have not used it before. So the basic layout looks like all the other Microsoft Office products. So we have the ribbon up top with a series of panels and icons for different functions. If we want to create a brand new spreadsheet, we would go up to File and we could click on New and pick a blank workbook. I'm going to switch back to the homework assignment that we're going to cover. So down here you can see the two file names. I'll go to book 1, which is the one that got created, and I'll close that out. The layout of a Microsoft Excel file is represented as a workbook, and that has a .xlsx extension. And inside of a workbook we have multiple sheets or worksheets, just like a book has multiple pages. So down at the bottom you can see the tabs for the different sheets. They're called Sheet 1, Sheet 2, and Sheet 3. We can add additional sheets. We can also change the sheet name, as we'll see later. And now a worksheet has a series of rows and columns, and each intersection of a row and a column is referred to as a cell. So for instance, right now I'm in cell C2. So the cell names are given by the column, which are alphabetical, and then the rows, which are numeric. And then the benefit of using cells is that each cell can have a formula, and the formula can contain text, it could contain a number, or we could actually implement a function, and we can use basic math as an example, so 1 plus 2 or 1 plus 3. The beauty of Excel is that these functions can start to adapt and evolve, and we can make them extremely powerful. So let's figure out how to navigate around, and then we'll cover a little bit more of that in detail. So we can use the mouse and left click anywhere we want, and you'll see the cells selected. We can also use the arrow keys to move around. If we want to modify the formula of a cell, we can click on it and just immediately start typing. Serious typos this morning, and that's still not spelled right. So I'm going to delete that. We can click on a cell and use the delete key, and that'll erase it. If a cell already has a formula and we want to modify it, we can either click up here on the formula bar, or we can double click and it'll put a blinking cursor inside, and we could modify this cell. When we're done, we can hit enter, and it'll bring us down one cell. If we wanted to, and we're doing a lot of data entry, so 1, I could hit tab and it'll take me to the right. 2, tab, 3, tab, 4. I'll hit enter and it'll return me kind of like a carriage return on a typewriter to the beginning of where I was starting. So I could continue on 5, 6. We can use shift and enter to go up. We can use shift and tab to go left. So we can navigate pretty well using the keyboard. We can also choose to use the mouse. But let's get started here. So we can take advantage of an additional key called the Ctrl key when we're moving around. So left, right, up, down. But if we have a list or a row of things and we want to jump to the end, we can use Control. So I'm going to use Control and right, and you can see now I'm all the way over here. If I use Control and left, I jump back to the far left text. If I use the down key, I go to the furthest cell that has text in it, or if the Control and up key. So this is a really quick way to move around. And then if you want to select cells, we can click on a cell and use the shift button. So I'm holding down shift and I can use the arrows to pick cells. I can also use my mouse and just hold down the left mouse button to select cells. And the reason we might select them is if we wanted to change the format. So for instance, let's make these column headers gray. And again, we could do this using keystrokes on the keyboard as well. So shift, holding it down, and go use the down arrow there. So let's make this maybe a bluish color. Make it a little darker. Alright. So that is the basics of Excel, and we'll continue in part 2 here with further details of this homework assignment.